So what's going on in my writing career? Let's talk. Hey, it is me, and I am back with another video today about writing. In fact, I've got this t-shirt on that says World's Okayest Writer. Yeah, that's me, World's Okayest Writer. My writing career, well, this is the last book that I wrote and published, and I published this June 28th of 2001. And I haven't published anything since, which is not good. It's no bueno, because up until this point, the way I've been successful is by continuing to write books. Writers, as Oscar Wilde said, we are verbs, not nouns. To be a writer, you have to write. So I've done a lot of work over the last year on making my life what I need it to be successful at writing. And now I am ready to kick it up to the next gear. Because I truly believe that anybody has the potential to be a successful self-published author. All they need to do is learn the craft of writing and follow the process of successful self-publishing. And I'm lucky because I know what that process is, to a certain extent. The process changes, and the nice thing is I produced a course about the process that I used to get me to the point where I'd sold 67,000 copies of my romance books. And since then, the things that have held me back have never been the process, they've been life. It's funny that, isn't it? I mean, Amazon has shifted the goalpost to a certain extent, so it's much more challenging to be a successful writer unless you can also handle advertising, and advertising costs money. And so I've spent the last year kind of sorting out my life so I have a stream of income coming in through my writing, which I can put into advertising and be successful that way. Frickin' nailed it, man. I was getting 70% return on investment on my advertising on Facebook, and then I got locked out of Facebook because of this stupid 2-factor authentication deal. But that's okay. That's actually okay, because I know I'm going to get access to Facebook back at some point. Facebook is a complete, excuse my French, clusterfuck when it comes to any form of customer support. I mean, I'm very privileged in that I'm able to speak to real human beings at Facebook because I've spent literally tens of thousands of dollars advertising with them. But if you lose your access just as a regular person, you're screwed. Facebook has no system in place to help people unless those people are actually worth significant amounts of advertising revenue to them. And the thing is, for me, the amount of money I spent with Facebook is massively significant, whereas for Facebook, I'm just a drop in the ocean. That's the worst thing. It's like, that's the problem. This is why, as a writer, as an author, you can't afford to put all your eggs in one basket. Except Amazon, you have to put all your eggs in the Amazon basket. But yeah, I'm looking at this whole Facebook debacle as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to really hone my skills in other forms of marketing. And probably advertising on Amazon is the best example of that. I mean, I know enough about advertising on Amazon to be dangerous, but I've never truly just gone in there and gone wild. And now this is my opportunity. So I have to think very hard about the next steps in my career, and I thought I would take you along on the ride. Why? I don't know. Because who else am I going to talk to about this crap? So let's go into it. Let's explain everything. Who am I? My name is Roland, and under the pen name Simone Scarlett, I've written I've written 31 novels under the name Simone Scarlett. The beginning ones were really, really bad, but I've now got into the groove of writing a series about a motorcycle club called the Knuckleheads, and I love what I have created. In my head, I really do think at some point Amazon Prime or Netflix or something, if I'm successful enough with what I'm trying to achieve here, they will grab this and make a TV show of it or a movie out of it. I'm arrogant enough to think it's that good, and I've sold enough copies to think it's that good, and I love doing it. I love the characters I've created, but more so than that, I love all of the people who have given me the privilege of buying my books and then emailing me and talking to me about my books and my characters and giving me the gift of understanding that these stories I create are meaningful to other people, and that's incredible. And that's like the most wild and amazing privilege of my life. That's why I make YouTube videos, to be honest. I mean, Ironic thing is, if you look through my YouTube videos, some of them get like 7 views or 8 views or something. But there's my mate Alex, who always posts something really cool on all of the videos I put. And I'm like, even if I only make them for Alex, that's great. But I think one day, as everything else ramps up, my YouTube will ramp up, and I enjoy the opportunity to like talk and put my stuff out there. So I'm going off on a wild tangent. Let's get back to the books. Yeah. So I've been lucky enough to write a series of romance books that have been pretty successful. And I then had this wild and crazy idea. I wrote this one book in particular called High Point. I don't have the sexy bod lady copy of it, but I enjoyed writing that book so much, and it was so significant to me that I created a version of it, exactly the same book, targeted towards men. And that's kind of what I want to do this year. I want to focus on the fact that I write romance novels, but I'm a guy and I'm interested in guy stuff, and I want to tell stories that guys would enjoy in the format of a romance novel, because I think at the end of the day, male and female books don't exist so much. They are all the same thing. They're stories. And I enjoy using the formula of romance novels, which I think is a very elegant formula of telling stories. I enjoy telling the action, adventure, explosion, boat stories through the lens of a romance book. And, you know, James Bond movies and action movies and Indiana Jones movies, they always have a romantic subplot in them. All I'm doing is telling those same stories, but focusing on the romance. And that's fun, and that's nice. And I just doing a podcast with Krista Lakes, who's a very successful billionaire romance author, and she was talking about how reading romance novels is kind of cool because you get to fall in love 100 times if you read 100 romance books. But I think it's different to that. I think you read romance books to have someone fall in love with you. And to a certain extent, what I bring to the romance genre is romance books are typically written from 2 viewpoints, his and hers. And traditionally, female authors have written books about a cool, awesome guy falling in love with the heroine, and that's kind of the wonders of it. That's what's beautiful about it. You read a book and somebody cool falls in love with you for who you are. I love that. And I'm just bringing that and expanding it, so not only is that the thread for the female lead, the male lead has this amazing girl fall in love with her. And that's what I find really exciting about writing these things, is you write books. My rule with writing romance novels is you have to fall in love with your heroine. And then the thrill of it is your heroine falling in love with you, because whenever I write a male character, I always try and give them some conflicts that are true to my heart and true to my experience, and have them conquer those things, because the right woman, the one you really love, will make you want to be the best version of yourself that you can. Steve Harvey, of all people, said something incredibly wise about that. He said, you know, women are always complaining, oh, my man won't change for me. And he said, ladies, your man will change for the right woman. And if he's not changing for you, you're not the right woman. And I think that's kind of deep, and I think that's kind of true. I think that the right woman will make you as a man want to change, but not change as in become what they want you to be, because the right woman will not want you to be anything except who you are. The right woman will make you want to be the best version of yourself. She'll make you want to be the most authentic version of yourself, and authenticity is what it's all about. And so, yeah, you might have flaws, or not even flaws, you might have character traits and patterns of behaviour that some people out there might want you to change. I don't know, you smoke cigarettes, for example, and it's like, will you change for your woman to stop smoking cigarettes? It's like, you won't do it because you want to please her, you want to do it because you want to be the best version of yourself. Or you don't do it because that's something that you don't want to give up, and if it's not impacting your life, maybe you shouldn't give it up. Maybe the whole idea of relationships of other people having to change to be that. No, you just want your male hero and your female heroine to just become the best versions of themselves by having the courage to be authentic and true to themselves. And that's what love is. And that's the story that I enjoy telling. Wow, that was convoluted, wasn't it? But I'm kind of excited because I think that's what my books are there to do. Tell stories about men and women falling in love and wanting to become the best versions of themselves because of that. And I think that's why I'm so excited about like really ramping it up this year, because I think that's important. I think it's positive. I'm starting to truly believe that what I'm doing is putting something good out into the world. So I'm going to continue that, and I'm going to do it. But where does it all begin? Well, that's why I wanted to invite you along for this journey. I am going to like lay down the plan that I have to be massively successful in 2022. And I've positioned quite well to go in that space. I don't think there are as many authors who are as lucky as I am to have got this foundation from which I can build this. But I think a lot of the stuff that I do will resonate with other authors who want to be more successful and hopefully follow in my footsteps. So I'm going to wrap this video up because I'm not going to get into what I'm going to do until another video, but I just wanted to talk about it. I'm going to get there this year. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to focus on making sure that I am successfully advertising and promoting my motorcycle romance stories, and I am going to continue to republish and reinvent my motorcycle club stories for a male audience and even package them together. I thought of doing that, like having the his and hers versions, the paperbacks. So two people in a relationship can read the same book just with the different covers, and I think that would be really quite interesting. And the thing is, there are tons of female readers who love action adventure stories. Romantic suspense is a huge genre, and wouldn't it be cool to like share that category of fiction with a male audience who might not have had access to it before? I know so many female authors of romantic suspense novels who are just brilliant storytellers, and men wouldn't normally read those books because they're romance books. And there are all sorts of awesome thrillers and stuff by male authors targeted towards men who female readers might not want to read because they're like male targeted books and they prefer books targeted towards what their interests are in. Basically, I think a lot of books have both of those elements mixed up in them together. I don't know. Maybe I'm barking mad. I just grew up in a family, we loved books, and we read the same books, whether they were men's books or women's books. I got up here that Fiona Walker, Between Males, that was, the first one I read of hers was French Kiss, but it was wonderful. My father read it, I read it, my sister read it, my brother read it. We all spoke about the same book because we all enjoyed it as an experience. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to write romance books that can, in theory, appeal to both men and women at the same time. And I'm going to kick the shit out of advertising and marketing and promotion this year. And I want to, my goal, I'm going to state my goal, that's what I'm going to do to wrap up this video. I'm going to be, under my name, under Roland Hulme, I'm going to be a New York Times best-selling author. That's my goal. And I think it's an achievable goal. And I think I'm going to get there. So come along with me on the ride, because it'll be a lot of fun getting there. And that's really it, isn't it? It's going to be a lot of fun getting there. And I'm so happy to be able to say that, because for so long I was so fixated on the destination. Like, I want to be in this place in my life. But now I've been able to take a breather and sit back a bit and have the rest of my life sorted to an extent. I can look at this and be like, the fun part isn't reaching your destination. The fun part is the journey that takes you to the destination. I get to design really cool covers for 10 more books. I get to continue writing these cool adventure stories. I've got other books coming. There's a spy book that I'm going to write under my own name that you guys, you're going to love. I'm so excited about that one. A lot of James Bond homage in there. There's an adventure story I want to write, which has like spy elements and also some of the parts of my writing. I'm excited to tell these stories, but I need to do it because that's what writers do. Writers write, and I need to write every single day and tell all these stories. I have 10 stories, at least 10 full-length novels in my head at least, and I need to commit them on paper. And that's what it's all about. Whether I'm successful or a failure, it doesn't matter. The goal is just to get these stories and put them on paper and publish them, and use those experiences to publish them to a broader and larger audience each time I do it. So I'm making that commitment, and this time next year, mark my words, what is it today, April 9th? April 9th, 2023. We're going to sit down and we're going to have a conversation, and I hope to be able to demonstrate some amazing results. So stay tuned, my friends, and I will continue making videos, and we will chat later. Ciao. I'm Roland. I've sold 67,000 copies of my books. If you want to find out how I did it, I've got the link right here you can click. And otherwise, don't forget to subscribe. I've got more videos coming soon. Thank you.